Okay, it's 12:30 in the afternoon, and I've mopped my floor twice, and one spot 3 times. And I just want to show you that it's clean. I really do clean the floor, but I suspect as soon as I let Wilder loose in the house, it will no longer be clean. It's 12:30 now. Okay, so it's Easter Sunday, and I'm a little late to the game here. For the last 2-3 years, I've made Italian Easter pie for Easter, and I didn't make it this year. That's partly because I think I'm the only one that likes it. Dutch will eat it, but I think I'm the only one that likes it. And when I make it, I have to make 2 different kinds. I make a low-carb version for myself and a regular one for everybody else. In fact, I think there's still a piece in the freezer from last year that I vacuum sealed and stuck in the freezer, but the regular kind, not my kind. So right now I'm going to make the pie crust. Okay, do you see this? This is the pie crust recipe I'm going to follow. It says the best pie crust. I must have liked it when I made it before, and it must have been like back in 2017 because that's the date on the next page. That's what I'm going to make now, only I'm going to double the recipe. Problem is, not the problem, the sad thing is, you see this? The cream cheese comes in 8-ounce blocks, and this calls for 3 ounces. So I have to divide this up. Oh, look at this. It's nicely divided, so I can just slice it right there and have 6 ounces. Ooh la la. But do you know what the problem is with that? The problem is that I never use cream cheese for anything except for some basis for recipes like the pie crust. So I'll have 2 ounces of this cream cheese just sitting in my refrigerator and molding because I'll never use it for anything else. Dilemmas. Okay, so it calls for 4 ounces of butter, and this is soft. This is 16 ounces, so that means this is 4 ounces of butter. Since I'm doubling the recipe, I'm going to need 2 of these. Oh boy, maybe I only needed 1 recipe after all. I double checked. That's the Italian Easter pie from last year. I'm sure it's still good. Okay, it's pretty soft. I don't know, maybe it needs more flour. Here's the real reason I'm undecided. I really do want to add more of my baking blend to it, but check it out. There's not very much left in the bottom there. I did decide to add about a 1/4 cup. Okay, here's Wilder. I let him out. It's 12:43. We'll see how long the kitchen floor stays clean. What do you say, Wilder? Hey. Oh yeah, there you are. What do you say? You gonna keep my floor clean or you gonna make a mess? Huh? Mess. That looks pretty good, doesn't it? I'm just going to press it into this springform pan. I didn't go very high on the sides of the pan, but that's okay. And then I have enough to roll out a top and whatever else I need. Okay, so this is the recipe I've sort of followed. When I first looked up Italian Easter pies, because I'd never heard of it until a few years ago, I found out that there are so many varieties and ways you can make it. Kind of like boiling maple syrup or sap to make maple syrup. There's so many different ways to do it. So I use this as a base, and I'll try to remember to link it down below. But since I'm doing it low carb, I've made a lot of changes. Okay, I decided to roll out the top crust. And I put it between 2 parchment papers, and I know it looks used because it is. I used it for baking cookies on. Okay, I am doing my own take on Italian Easter pie. I am going to use some diced ham, and I'm going to cook up some Italian sausage, which I know isn't normally in there, and I'm going to add some pepperoni and maybe something else, and then all kinds of cheese. All right, the ham's chopped up. I've got some different pepperoni to chop up, and I found I have some bratwurst. Maybe I'll chop some of that up and put it in too. Okay, I thought it was Italian sausage, but it's bratwurst. There's the meat portion. Woo! Now I have to chop up some cheese. Okay, here's the problem. I don't have all these different Italian cheeses on the list. I have mozzarella. So I've got some other cheeses, and I'm gonna cut some of those up and add them. It'll be good, really. I also need 3 eggs. Okay, that's the mozzarella. That's a lot of filling. I think I may need to put some more pie crust up the edges of this pie pan. All right, there's the crust, and I need to get it off the parchment paper and put it on top of my pie. Shouldn't be too hard. I'll just flip it over and peel it off. Ooh, that worked nifty. No wonder I like this pie crust. Now I should put some kind of pretty something or the other on top. One year I put a cross on top. This year maybe I'll do a flower, because today is actually Easter. There's my flower. It looks more like a gingerbread man. I'm gonna pop this in the oven, and I don't know, how long do you think it'll take? I have no idea. Okay, here's something I always do when I use a springform pan. I put it on another pan, just in case it springs a leak. The leftover pie crust will not go to waste. I rolled it out again, and I'm gonna spread a little bit of butter and some cinnamon and a little bit of sweetener on it, because when I was a kid and my mom had leftover pie crust, she would put butter, cinnamon, and sugar on it and let us eat it. It was so good. Okay, I forgot to record earlier. It's 2:47. Wilder, did you make this mess on my floor?
He looks at his toys.
Look at that. Every day it's like this. More than once a day. I had one good summer here. Okay, my Easter pie is out of the oven. Wow, it looks more yellow on the video than it does in person. I hope it's done. I set the timer for 45 minutes. And it wasn't done, so then I set it for another 15 minutes. It wasn't done. I set it for another 15 minutes, and I'm not sure if that was the last 15 minutes or not. I lost track. I got busy. So it's good I set the timer. Anyway, it looks pretty good. And there is the finished product. Maybe I should move it out of the sunshine. I just moved it more into the sunshine. Doesn't that look great? Oh, it's so pretty. I'm so happy. Oh, doesn't it look scrumptious? You know you want a piece. I think it's time to cut my pie. Oh, maybe it could have cooked a little longer. I'll just warm it up in the microwave. It'll be fine. And here's the thing. I let it cool off. I didn't cut it right away because I'd just eaten when it came out of the oven. Looks pretty good. I think it's gonna be fine. There it is. Fresh Italian, Easter Italian pie. It's so good. It's been a long day. I've had this like mega headache today. I think I got quite a bit done, except for the dishes. They're sitting on my counter waiting for me to do them, and I'm not doing them tonight. Trying to encourage Wilder to do his business so that I can go to bed for the night. I still need to let Piper out, but first Wilder. Anyway, so it was a good Easter. Hope you guys had a good Easter too.